Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's Theory Thursday. I would like to say this topic is near and dear to my heart. And have you ever had one of those experiences where multiple people in a span of a few days ask you the same question? And then like, this is something I need to pay attention to. So in the past week, I have had three separate conversations about the transition from being a employee and having a side hustle that you're hoping to build into a business, and then transitioning to going full time. So three different people have asked me in different ways about the journey, about the process. And I know we are a group of entrepreneurs, and a lot of you are at the beginning stages and have not, made the leap. And not necessarily that, you need to make the leap. Sometimes you can just enjoy the view and you don't have to jump off the edge of the cliff. But for those of you who are interested in making the leap, I do want to share from my personal experience and from what I've learned, the steps that you need to take to know when you're ready to take that leap. Some of us, are in situations where we're pushed into it and, we have no choice. But if you have the benefit of planning and you have the benefit of choice, you know, there's a lot that goes into it, and sometimes you end up needing to be pushed, because if you had to choose, you may not have done it. Depending on the day, if you ask me whether or not I'd like to go back to a life in corporate where I know I'm going to see my coins every other Friday, but today is not that day. Today you would get the absolutely not. I am a wild, feral animal, and I am not fit to work for someone else at this point in my life. So let's talk about how to know when you're ready to transition into full-time entrepreneurship. And I know, people think that it's going to be the numbers, it's going to be the money is the first thing. But actually, I want to back up a little bit. I want to talk about intention. Whatever your business is, what is the intention behind it? Are you building a business because it's something that you like to do and you don't want to be overwhelmed and it brings you joy, and you have no goal to maybe turn this into something profitable? If so, that's perfectly fine, right? There's nothing wrong with any of it. The only thing that's wrong is when we behave in a way that does not align with our actual intentions for that business. So you may also have a business that you are building it because you want to make the most amount of money possible forever and ever. So maybe you're building a legacy business that you want to keep for yourself. You're going to be focused on sustainability. You're going to be focused on growing slowly and profitably. If you're building a business that you want to sell, right? Like, I don't want to do this forever. I just want to build something so that I can make some money and then someone else can take it over. You're going to be focused on process systems and documenting your financials so that you can show that you are financially sound and that your business will be a good investment. All of those are different, right? If you're building a business that you want to sell in a couple of years, maybe you can hold it out and work another position or work in another job and build your business. But if you are at the point where you feel like, based on the intentions that I have for what I'm building, I can no longer split my focus. And remember, splitting your focus, we've talked about this before in some of our hero challenges, is very dangerous. And you're hearing someone with multiple businesses say that. And that's because you have to put all of your focus into your launch to get up into the air and get this thing afloat. And then you can split your focus on other things. But at the moment that you're launching your business, before it's stable and it's on its own, you don't want to have split focus. So you might be in that space where it's like, I'm not able to do both. Once you've made the decision that you're not able to do both, then it's how do we safely, securely, as easy as possible migrate into full-time work? Okay? Can somebody just drop a message in the comments? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Just let me know if you're running into any issues on your end. Okay, so you've made the decision that you need to go full time. Now we need to talk about your mindset. This is the make or break. This is the foundation of everything that we do, everything that we accomplish. We got to where we are because of something that we thought. We had to think a thought and then we had to take action. But first, we had to think the thought. So let's talk about the mindset work that is required. First, you need to know and envision that you can do it, right? So, what are some of the things that make you think that you can't do it? Write it all out. Like, write out every single limiting idea that you might possibly have. It's too difficult. I don't have enough time. I haven't demonstrated success in my business. Write out every single thing. They could be true. They could be factual, right? But they may not be rooted in the truth of abundance and the truth of creativity and the truth of you being able to be successful. But we still need to know what they are. We have to know what our crutches are. What are the things that we really think? When you look at another entrepreneur, what comes to mind about that entrepreneur and their journey? That will give you a little insight into what it is that you're thinking. Also, if you're having trouble identifying what your limiting beliefs are, I want you to imagine yourself successful. Imagine your business making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, right? Imagine yourself successful. And the first thing that comes to mind that maybe makes that success a little bit smaller, maybe it's like, yeah, but da 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 da, that's your limiting belief. When you're trying to picture yourself in a successful space as a business owner, whatever adjustment that you're making to that dream, whatever change you had to make in your mind, like, oh, but yeah, that's right, I would have to have like the kids with me, so I wouldn't be able to go to all of the events. Then your limiting belief might be, as a parent, I don't have the capacity to have a successful business. Write it down. And after you write it down, you want to write out the truth. What is the truth? If you have, receipts, that's even better, right? And we all have at least one receipt that we can be successful, and it is the fact that we are alive today. We have a 100% success rate at being alive. It's one of my favorite things. Sometimes when I feel so dejected and like I can't move on and everything is falling apart and nothing is working, I remind myself, but I'm alive. I myself am here. That is a success rate. I kept myself alive for all of this time, right? So start there. Add on with your wins. Think about your business specifically. What were you able to accomplish? What feedback have you gotten? Have you ever sold one thing? Whatever it is, use that to build and work on your mindset. I highly, highly recommend. There is a book called You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. Sincero. I highly recommend that book. It helped me with my money mindset, with my beliefs, with expanding my horizons. So mindset work is so important, and it is not a one-day process. It is absolutely something that you'll need to do continuously. You'll need to continuously challenge yourself and look at, well, if I thought my business was going to be successful, why am I making this decision? If I thought that, I was going to be doing well in business, why haven't I invested in this? Why haven't I attended that? Why haven't I posted this? What's making me hesitant, reluctant, and drawing back? Let's identify those things and let's address them. Okay, now we're going to talk about the numbers. So now we're going to talk about the numbers, and this is really important. There's a lot of fear in entrepreneurship. So when we talk about fear, we're talking about people who are concerned about what'll happen. Like, what's the worst case scenario that's going to happen if my business fails? Let's say I go full time, my business fails, I can't pay my mortgage, I'm going to get foreclosed on, I'm going to be on the street, I'm going to be living in my car, I'm going to be blah, blah, blah. People are going to laugh at me. It's going to fail flat. No one's going to show up. No one's going to buy tickets. No one's going to buy the product. I'm going to lose all my money. I'm not going to have any savings, etc., etc., etc. We have all of these fears. Every single one of those fears that we have are assumptions that we're making about what's going to happen in the future. So let's focus on the facts. The most important thing when it comes to numbers and determining whether or not you're ready to become an entrepreneur is you better know your numbers. And ask me right now and I will tell you, this is how much money I need to make every single month in order for me to live. Bare bones, just live. So take your time. You look at every bill that you pay, what's necessary, what's not. I'm not saying make any changes. We're just putting them in categories and we're adding up everything that we're paying for right now on a monthly basis that is a necessity. Get that number. Because when that number is abstract and we're like, I just need money. I need $10,000. I need $5,000. I need $2,000, right? Or when we're just focusing on one portion of the money, I just need my rent paid, which is this amount. I just need that, which is this amount. We'll get surprised because we underestimate it, or we're making the problem bigger than it is because we overestimate it. So get that exact number. You should know it. You should know exactly how much money you need every single month to live. And then you say to yourself, all right, if something happened where my business didn't succeed or where I wasn't making the money that I needed to make, how could I get to that number? So I did this exercise in coaching with one of our coaching clients, and it was very powerful. It's a powerful exercise. There were tears. Very powerful exercise because we have this fear, and that fear keeps us from moving forward. It keeps us from going where we are destined to go. So we have to take every fear, we have to examine it, and then we have to hit it with some facts, right? So we did the number at the time. I believe her number was like $2,500 a month. So then I said, okay, now if I told you you need to make $2,500 a month, how would you do it? Right? Not, how would you grow your business to make this much a month? But if you needed to, what would you do? Would you be out here driving Ubers and Lyfts? Okay. Would you be babysitting? Would you be doing hair? Would you be coaching? Would you sell t-shirts? Would you get a part-time job? What would you do in order to hit that number? And make sure they're feasible things that like really you could turn around and start next week if you needed to. What that does for you once you have this number and a plan, it takes the stress off your shoulders. It takes that stress off because even if I get backed into a corner, I already have a plan of what I could do. All right? So that's our hell in a handbasket plan. If things went horribly wrong, this is what we're going to do. Now, let's talk about our more realistic plan. I recommend at least 6 months of savings to get you through that monthly, whatever that monthly number is, times 6 is what you should give yourself as a target for saving before you even think about leaving. Again, some of us do not have that luxury. Some of us, our backs are up against the wall. Sometimes we're getting laid off, sometimes, et cetera, et cetera. There's all types of scenarios. But if you have the freedom to be able to do so, this is something that you can do. You should plan for those six months of, if I need it, I have the savings that I can tap into and also live to my means of that budget. All right. The last thing that I did and that I think is very important part of this process is look at your lifestyle right now, right? So there's certain things that happen when you are obligated to be somewhere for someone else for work, right? You have a routine, you have a system. If you have children, you have drop off and pickup times. You have the way that you do food, right? Maybe you're meal prepping. Maybe you go out in the evenings for food, right? You have a system, but something's going to change when you go full time. Something big is going to change. Everything is going to get blown up. And I'm talking from the perspective of a mother. I'm talking from the perspective of a wife. When you go through that type of transition, it is so easy to feel like, well, now I can do this because I don't have to, be here at this time. I don't have to maybe pay for after school. I can keep the kids home from school, right? You need to think about, what is life going to look like if you were to go full time, and plan in advance the things that you would want to change. But most importantly, plan in advance the time that you are spending in your business, and what will you be doing during those times. Because sometimes what I've seen is people will transition out of being at work every day and forget that you just traded a 40-hour-a-week job for an 80-hour-a-week job. But then you're acting like you traded your 40-hour-a-week job for a part-time job. And now I have all this free time. You do not have free time. You do not have free time. You have time that you need to spend learning things that you've never had to do before. You need time to work on your mindset to help you overcome the different barriers that are going to come at every single level. And you need time to actually build your business. Aside from whatever your service or your product is, the actual delivery of it, you have to work on building it. You have to work on the mindset that you need, the leadership development that you need so that you can grow your business, right? So make sure that you've accommodated and you've accounted for what your new life is going to look like, and be very realistic. Be honest. Don't create some rigid structure for yourself if you're not a disciplined, rigid structure type of person. If you're the type of person who may not get out of the bed early, don't create some, lofty new goal that every day you're getting up at 5 a.m. and taking cold showers and you're doing. Be realistic about what is life going to look like after I leave my job. So if you have set the intention that I'm ready to go full time, first thing you need to do is work on your mindset. The next thing you need to do is work on your numbers. And notice, I did not even talk about what your business would need to be able to do for you to be able to go full time, right? We know what our monthly number is, and maybe your business is hitting it and maybe it's not. And just because your business is generating that amount of money in revenue, is your business generating that amount of money in profit? That's completely different, right? So we haven't even talked about your business being able to sustain you. I'm really talking more about the mindset and the readiness of it. Do you have a plan for what you can do to make the money that you need every single month? If so, check. Do you have 6 months of that monthly budget saved up? If so, check. If you don't, go back to your business, work your business, and get it to that spot. Because you also have to prove to yourself that your business is viable, right? So let your business prove to you that it's viable, and then yes, let's take this leap. And then fourth, you need to think about, what is your life going to look like once you do decide to go full time? And this work is weeks and weeks and weeks of work. This is not, we're going to do this in an afternoon. I'm going to go through my intention, my mindset work, my numbers, and what my life is going to look like. You may start it in an afternoon, but this is something that you need to mull it over. You need to examine it. You need to pull it apart. You need to test it. You need to poke at it. You need to have conversations with the people who are invested in your life, which means your partners, your spouses, your children, about what would it look like, right? All of this work needs to be done before you even turn to your business and do the business development work and the business planning work of what it looks like for you to be full-time in the business. So I hope this was helpful. This is just high level of my mindset and the steps that I took before I made the decision to leave, 6-figure corporate America job with a lot of responsibilities, but a lot of time restrictions, for a less dependable, very sporadic, hard to gauge service-based, commission-based, full-time endeavor. The next things that I would talk about this subject, and maybe we'll find a way to put something together for you guys, is the business development piece of it. Now, is your business ready for you to be full-time? But hopefully this gets you started. Please put any comments, any questions that you have, any things that came out as aha moments. As always, we are here. If you have any questions, please reach out to Design Theory. We can help you with websites, digital marketing, automation, social media marketing, pulling your business together, and we also offer business coaching. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Talk to you soon. Bye.